Hey everybody, ABC 10 meteorologist Brendan Minchef here with a storm watch update for you because we had one break in the rain, and that was today for Tuesday. By the time we get in towards Wednesday and the rest of the week, it is going to be much wetter and especially windier for the middle part of this week as well. So this is the radar for Tuesday. You can see just some drizzle at times throughout the daytime today, some very light showers. That was it. That was the only break we had. So I hope a lot of us were able to use it to prepare and to clean up from the previous storm and, of course, get ready for the next one because as we look at Wednesday, highs will be in the middle to upper 50s for much of us, but it will be rainy and it will be very windy as well as we go through Wednesday. So let's start to break it down. We'll start with Futurecast here. As we work through the overnight hours on Tuesday, we're going to stay dry. It'll be cloudy, but we'll be dry. By the time we wake up and we go to work on Wednesday morning, this is 5 a.m. Wednesday morning, you can see the first bits of rain starting to move through Northern California from the Bay Area into the valley. This is kind of a different path than some of the previous storms we've had. This one's going from the southwest off to the northeast in terms of direction tomorrow morning. That's because this first band of rain, I should say, associated with a warm front that moves in as it pushes through the valley through the morning hours. So now we're at 8:30 on Wednesday morning. We'll be looking at some periods of heavy rain through the morning commute, snow starting as well by the time we get towards 6-7 o'clock in the morning. So if you're coming down from the Sierra or headed up to the Sierra on Wednesday morning, be aware we are watching for the potential of some very heavy snow starting for that morning commute. But once this warm front pushes off to the north through the late morning, early afternoon hours, between the warm front and the cold front, which will still be offshore at this point, we'll have a little bit of a pause in terms of the heavy stuff. Could have a shower or two, but for the most part, does look dry and cloudy through the afternoon, maybe through the early part of the Wednesday evening commute. But you see that heavier rain, and it will be pushing on in as we work through the evening hours. So by the time we get to 7 o'clock on Wednesday, here's what Futurecast looks like. This heavier rain is associated with a strong cold front that is moving on through. So I'll tell you what, it's not just the rain, but the winds. You can see the winds out of the south. Winds will be picking up in intensity throughout the daytime on Wednesday, with gusts going initially from 20 miles an hour in the morning towards 25, 30, 35, 40, gusting potentially up to 60 miles an hour. We'll break the winds down more in just a second. But it's not just the rain. Keep in mind, we'll see a lot of wind as well, which will create blowing rain, reduce visibility, and of course, blowing snow, creating whiteout conditions in the Sierra. So heavy rain continuing with that wind through the Wednesday evening into the overnight hours as that cold front pushes on through overnight. And even behind the cold front, we're going to be dealing with rain and some wind as well, with the rain off and on through the Thursday morning commute as well. So a long kind of duration event. Remember that Sunday was dry, but the Monday storm that we had dropped almost an inch of rain in the Sacramento area. But it was just that. It was just a one-day storm, just some relatively light rain, heavy at times. This one is going to be more like the New Year's Eve storm, where we had a lot of rain coming down and some heavy rain as well. Winter storm warning from Wednesday morning to Friday morning for everywhere in pink. You see heavy, wet snow. This is a very wet system, and it's going to be dumping very heavy snow in the Sierra. 6 to 15 inches above 5,000 feet, likely 18 to 36 inches above 6,000 feet. With those wind gusts I was mentioning, 65-mile-an-hour gusts in the Sierra are likely. That'll make for whiteout conditions, very difficult travel, and down to trees. Could cause some power outages in the Sierra as well, something we'll definitely be paying attention for as we work through Wednesday, Thursday. Here is that model snowfall total. You can see 18 to 36. That is right what the model is looking at here. This is the American model. That is through Friday morning. But with more snow expected for the weekend, we could see totals closer to 60 inches for some areas. We'll talk more about this weekend later on in this video. But for the rainfall that we're expecting through Thursday, looking at anywhere between 1.5 to 3 inches. 3 inches is kind of on that high end. So I really do think ballpark 1.5 to 2 inches. But what's important to remember is in terms of rivers and streams, we're not starting from, we'll say zero, right? Like we were with New Year's Eve, where we didn't have a lot of rain and then we had a nice pause, right? This time, we're going from a lot of rain that we had on the weekend to just a day or maybe 2 days break, you can say, if you count Saturday and Tuesday. And then we're dumping another 2 inches plus on that rain and on those rivers. So instead of starting from, we'll say, 0 with the rainfall, we're starting from 2, where our rivers are already high, and we're going to add more to it. So that's why flooding's still such a concern. And then it's not the only storm we're looking at either. By the time we get to the weekend or through the weekend, we could have another 3 to 5 inches of rain in the valley, and there's really good model agreement on that. That was the American model. This is the European model, and you can see some of these model rainfall totals from anywhere between 3 to 5 inches, and in some places more than that. So a very serious rain event is on the way. We're past the point of saying, yay, it's raining, to this is a problem. This is too much rain all at once. We've not had time between storms for the rivers and the lakes and everything to kind of recede again and for that water to soak into the ground. So the National Forecasting Center has an excessive rainfall outlook for us, and we are in it. We're in Sacramento, Stockton. We're in that slight risk, marginal risk for Modesto. But as you look out towards the Bay Area and the coast, it is that level 4 moderate risk that we're paying attention to over there. So a lot of rain is expected with serious flooding issues as well in some places because of that flood watch from Wednesday morning to Friday morning. Excessive runoff, flooding of rivers, creeks, and streams, all the stuff we were talking about for the New Year storm definitely applies here. Again, with the caveat that we're not starting from zero. We're not starting from pre-storm levels. We're starting from our New Year's Eve storm levels, right? So the Cosumnes and McKelvey rivers, just to give an example, those are already running high. Because of the rain that we had, because of the previous storm, we have not had a lot of time between systems, and so these rivers will only run higher and run faster, perpetuating the flooding issues as we go through the rest of this work week. Flash flood watch from tonight through Friday morning. This is Tuesday night to Friday morning. Now, it's not everywhere in green that you see here. This is specifically for burn scar areas where debris flow will be possible. So I'll run you through the list. The August Complex burn scar, the Caldor West burn scar, the Dixie West burn scar, the River burn scar, and the Mosquito burn scar are all the areas that are in that flash flood watch because of the possibility of debris flow, because of how quickly we're going to see that rainfall, and it's very heavy rain as well. So again, it's not everywhere in green. The map is a little misleading. It's just the way that the warnings appear on the map. But it is specifically, the flash flood watch is specifically for these burn scar areas there. Keep that in mind. High wind warning in effect from 10 a.m. Wednesday to 4 p.m. on Thursday everywhere in the burnt orange color. Damaging winds, southerly winds, 25 to 35 mile an hour sustained, but the gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. That's important. We had 60 mile per hour wind gusts recorded in the Sacramento area on New Year's Eve. We had a lot of power outages because of that. We had widespread 40 to 55 mile an hour gusts with some 60 mile an hour gusts, and look at all the power outages it caused. We're dealing with this again, but it's going to be a longer duration event in terms of wind. So we're absolutely going to see more power outages, and the work on restoring the power that was lost is pretty much going to have to come to an end because nobody's going to put utility poles up when there's 60 mile an hour gusts going on. And the other thing, too, that applies to this specifically is because we've had all that rain now, right? Rivers have been running high. We've had a lot of rain. Ground is what we call saturated. It can't hold any more water. And because of that, the ground is soft. It's muddy. This wind is going to allow trees to fall over easier because the ground is not hard. The trees are not set in there. It's a little soggier. It's easier to knock those trees down. So as we look at future wind gusts now, this is Wednesday, 6:30 in the morning. You see gusts upwards 25, 30 miles an hour across the San Joaquin Valley. By the afternoon, it's widespread across the valley through Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, even out towards the Bay Area and into the Sierra as well. So future wind gusts by 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Wednesday, looking at upwards of 35 miles an hour, and even stronger as we work into the evening and overnight hours on Wednesday. So again, this is a longer duration event. This is not a 2-hour wind gust event that we saw on Saturday. This is a long duration event with very strong winds out of the south, with gusts way over this. I'm telling you, these numbers here are being way underdone. We're going to see gusts 40, 45, 50, even 60 miles an hour potentially across the valley. So power outages, again, will be a concern. Prepare now for power outages before we're actually dealing with these winds and you don't have power. It won't be until Thursday morning into the early afternoon hours on Thursday that we start to see those winds calm down. These are gusts now of 15 to 20 miles an hour across the valley. So again, a high or a long duration high wind event that we're looking at here. Take this storm seriously. The Pineapple Express, the atmospheric rivers, it is full steam ahead right now. There's no end in sight to our rainy pattern, even as we work in towards mid-January. I'm talking like January 15, 16, no end in sight to this, which means significant rainfall is in the forecast. So take the time now to prepare for flooding. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, you got time to prepare before the rain arrives. You don't need to wait until the rain is at your back door to go get your sandbag. So prepare for flooding, get your sandbags early, but also have a go bag ready with important documents like birth certificates, social security cards, insurance information. Another handy thing to do, put all those in a Ziploc bag, zip it up tight. Now it's waterproof. Your birth certificate's not going to get wet. Your social security card won't get wet if it's in a Ziploc bag. Fill up your vehicle with gas, or if it's an electric vehicle, plug it in, charge it, make sure it is good to go. Fill it up, charge it to its fullest so that if you have to evacuate, if you have to drive somewhere to get away from the floodwaters, you can. You're not worried about gas. And don't forget about your pets, too. If you got to evacuate, bring your pets. Make sure they got the food that they need. Make sure they got plenty of water. Make sure they have maybe a favorite toy or a bed that'll help them feel safe no matter where they're at. Also prepare now for power outages. Charge your devices, charge portable batteries, anything you can to keep your devices plugged in so you can continue to get weather information from YouTube or live streaming, ABC 10 for instance. Get canned, non-perishable food from the grocery store. Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, you still got time to do that before the really strong winds arrive Wednesday afternoon, evening, and into Thursday overnight. Sign up for your county's emergency alerts as well. If you live in Sacramento County, go to the county website. If you live in San Joaquin County, Tuolumne County, wherever you live, go get your county's emergency alert system set up so that you can get those alerts right to your phone. You don't have to go search for them, and you know the very latest. And of course, download the ABC 10 app so that you can get our weather alerts, you can get our weather updates, and you'll stay informed of what is going on across Northern California with this storm. I really don't want to sound alarmist, but I really want you guys to take this seriously because this is a serious storm, right? We love the rain, but at this point, we've not had any time between storms for the rain to just kind of recede, the waters to recede, the rivers and streams to come back down, stop running so high and so fast. And so this is a problem, especially even after this storm as we look beyond towards the weekend to look at this. Friday, maybe a bit of a pause, maybe some lingering showers Friday, but by the time we get to Saturday, Sunday, we're looking at additional rain and snow moving in Northern California. So it is, again, not just this storm over the next couple of days that we're watching, but even in towards Sunday, Monday of next week, still looking at more rain for Northern California. So over the next 7 days, we could see 4 to 5 inches of rain in the Sacramento Valley, 3 to 4 inches in the San Joaquin Valley, 7 inches or more in parts of the Sierra. That's liquid precip equivalent. That's why I'm saying it's going to be very heavy, wet snow. And this is just for the next 7 days. Even more than just the next 7 days, we are tracking some rain chances as well. And you'll see that here as we look at the 10-day forecast. So Wednesday, Thursday, clearing a little bit on Friday with just some lingering showers. But then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all next week, still looking at more rain chances, which means a long duration rain event, long duration flood risk, and then especially Wednesday, this Thursday, we are looking at that high wind as well. So everybody be safe out there. Please take care of yourselves. Download the ABC 10 app so you can stay up to date with the very latest. Subscribe, like our YouTube channel. You'll get our weather updates there as well. Be safe, everybody, and stay with us for the very latest on this winter storm that moves through Northern California.